Alright, so what is up guys, it is TheCitrusPanda here today, and today I'm coming at you with a review for episode 1 of My Hero Academia. Let's do this. Alright, so the intro was a weird thing to do because the last 25 of them have been Haikyuu, but this time we're doing something different. We're going to a new anime that's just been released today, I guess. Although, over here in America, in my time zone, I believe it's released at 4 a.m., which is not a time that I'm going to wake up and watch it and then make a review. So I'll just do it sometime during the day on Sunday, is the idea. Also, another show that I'm looking forward to reviewing is probably Bungo Stray Dogs. But other than that, so let's get into the review. So, this episode actually was kind of slow-paced, I think. Not that that's a bad thing. Actually, I'm going to get into why I think it was slow-paced and how I think the series is going to go. So one thing is that it's been confirmed, I think, from a couple of sources, we've gotten the 13-episode count, which is kind of weird, because if it was 13 episodes, what I assumed would happen is a very fast-paced, but it was just kind of like, really awesome animation, really well-paced, really, like, it was going to be fast, but also really good. I have not seen One Punch Man, but I would assumed it would be like that kind of quality, like where, it's very high quality and high production. But, in general, I mean, it is high production, but it is a little bit slower paced, so it didn't actually even cover the full first chapter. I looked in the manga. I've read the first 2 volumes of the manga, and I looked in the volume of manga to see, like, where we got. We only got about halfway through the first chapter or something like that. About that. Actually, I don't know exactly where we got. I was looking at the page count. It didn't look like we got very far at all in the manga compared to what we got in one episode, which could potentially be a problem, but I don't think it's going to be. The reason being is because the first episode has to set up a lot of things. So whenever you make a first episode of an anime, you cannot just throw people into an environment where they don't know what's going on and don't know the background and why the main character's doing this, why the main character's doing that. So the idea behind this first episode is, 1, introduce quirks and how they work and how they got how they got introduced to the world. 80% of the population has them, 20% don't. It's now a minority of people that don't have them. So that had to be introduced. Next, Izuku, which I'm going to refer to him as, I guess some people call him Deku, but I like Izuku, it's easy to remember. He essentially wants to become a hero, but he does not have a quirk. I'm not going to spoil anything, because in the next episode probably will happen, but essentially he's a hero, he's quirkless, he is good for nothing, basically. I mean, everybody else has a power of some sort, whether it be useful or not useful, and he really doesn't, so at the end of the day, he's not going to be able to be a very good hero, but he's going to try. So he has a little bit of a flashback to whenever he was a kid, and, him actually going to the doctor and saying, well, you're probably quirkless, you're not going to do anything. The doctor basically just like, yo, kid, you're done. You can't be a hero, just stop. And that kind of hit him hard, whenever his mom had that little backstory thing. But all that had to happen in this episode, so I feel like, although it was slowly paced, I felt like all that had to happen to culminate into what happened at the end. So, eventually what happened is that Izuku was up on the, he held on to All Might, once All Might actually, saved him from that slime monster, and they're up on the roof, and he asked the question, can I be a hero without a quirk? And I think that this, in general, I think this just completely sets up the rest of the series, and probably it'll be faster from this point on. Maybe it won't. The only reason why I say it's going to be faster is that if it only adapted that much in the first episode, it's going to be really slow. If it keeps on that pace, it's only going to adapt 3 volumes of the manga, which could be good, but I think that the manga, don't quote me on this, but I think it's it's been going on for at least a year, from my knowledge, which would mean it's 52 chapters at least, but it's been going on for more than a year, so I would reckon that this thing has been going on for quite some time. In fact, I'm going to look it up right now. The newest chapter, which came out on April Fool's Day, was the 85th chapter. I was going to guess around 70-something, but 85 seems like a pretty good number. So, it's been going on for, well, almost, it's like a year and a half, basically. And that's quite some time. So we have a lot to adapt in 13 episodes. I don't know if that's going to be a little bit of a problem or not, but I do think that 24 episodes might have been too much. 24 episodes might have been overkill, so 13 is what they went for. Even if they don't adapt a lot of it, it'll be okay. I think at the end of the day, this is a good anime. Some people were complaining about the animation. I was on the forum, I was looking at some responses to the first episode, like a discussion page on my anime list, and some people were saying, well, 1 or 2 people said that the animation wasn't very good. I completely disagree. The only part of this episode that I even thought the animation was slightly off was the one point where Bakugo's face was kind of weird, but I felt like that was just like over exaggerated for a point. Like it was meant to be like that. And it was only like 3 seconds long. I think the animation's pretty sweet so far. It's actually very well done, I think, in my opinion. So we'll see later on, because usually Battle Shonen and whatnot, they change their budget as far as how much they spend and how good the animation is, depending on what is happening in the episode. So like the fight scenes and everything will be ridiculous, whereas everything else is gonna be awesome, but like not as good. And that's usually how it goes. Anywho, I thought this was a good intro episode of the anime. Basically, in this review, it was less of a review of the episode, more of a review of how I think this is going to play out and how some people are worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I think it's going to be adapted well. I believe in Studio Bones and whoever else is in on this. I think they're going to do a good job. It was a great first episode. It introduced everything, and I think from here on out, it's going to be great. So until next time, guys, it's been TheCitrusPanda signing off, and see you guys later.